Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today's topic: why nobody lives in these 7 European cities. Stay tuned if you are curious about these places. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel before proceeding to the video. If you are ready, let's get started. Number 7. Modena, Italy. 158,886 people live in Modena. Modena is an important industrial and economic center. In any case, when fantastic job opportunities are limited in certain areas, people move to bigger cities or regions with more open roles. Like other big cities, Modena has extraordinarily high prices for most ordinary things. The cost of housing, daily life, and the city as a whole encourages people to move to more affordable areas instead of staying in this region. Young people may travel some distance from cities like Modena in search of work and education opportunities. Available jobs and preparation programs can be found in larger urban areas or in more globally convenient locations. These factors explain the relatively low population density in metropolitan areas such as Modena. Number 6. Nijmegen, Netherlands. 158,732 people live in Nijmegen. Nijmegen's economy is unique, but may be less broad than economies with significant modern or commercial enterprises. As a result, fewer jobs are available and young talent is drawn to larger cities. Nijmegen is very close to the border with Germany. This leads some people to look for work or housing opportunities in other countries such as Germany. The city's population can be affected. These factors may contribute to Nijmegen's relatively small population compared to other large Dutch cities. Number 5. Grenoble, France. 158,552 people live in Grenoble. It's possible that Grenoble, which was a very modern place, has lost its cohesiveness due to the current changes. As a result, there may be fewer job opportunities. Grenoble's economy is less visible than that of its larger, more modern financial center. Restrictions on opening new businesses may cause people to move out of the city. People living in cities like Grenoble may have a tendency to move to larger cities due to the abundance of transportation options available in these larger cities. Because of these factors, the population of Grenoble is lower than that of other European cities. Number 4. Rzeszów, Poland. 158,382 people live in Rzeszów. One of the urban settlements with less financial development or limited access to open doors is Rzeszów. Young people are forced to move to bigger cities due to the lack of convincing modern theories or available jobs. People move to areas that offer more career opportunities and professional stability. Urban areas like Rzeszów are losing population as young people migrate out of the city in search of better job or educational opportunities. Young people may be attracted to these communities because of nearby universities or job opportunities in big cities. Fragmentation characteristics such as low birth rates, high proportion of elderly, or lack of mobility also influence how densely populated metropolitan areas are. This leads to significant changes in the transportation of the urban population. The combination of these factors suggests that low population density in urban areas such as Rzeszów is inevitable. Number 3. Doncaster, United Kingdom. 158,141 people live in Doncaster. Doncaster's decline can be attributed to a variety of issues, including monetary shifts, relocation, segmental factors, and lack of infrastructure and services. Doncaster benefited greatly from being an area of excellence. Eventually, the collapse and transformation of these areas led to financial hardship and job losses. This encouraged people to travel around the city in search of a decent job. As the number of available open doors decreased, people moved to larger cities or places where they would likely have to look for work. This was one of the factors that contributed to the population decline in Doncaster. A shift in the socio-economic makeup of the city's population has led to an increase in the number of young people leaving the city or moving elsewhere in search of employment. Doncaster's decline can be attributed to a variety of issues, such as monetary shifts, relocation, segmental factors, and lack of infrastructure and services. People are also leaving the city because there is not enough infrastructure or adequate services in some areas. A number of variables such as migration, financial shifts, segmental factors, and the lack of administration and framework can be attributed to Doncaster's decline. Number 2. Melitopol, Ukraine. 158,000 people live in Melitopol. Melitopol district has not shown financial stability. There were financial weaknesses in the post-freedom period, despite the fact that it was established in the Soviet period, taking into account agriculture and industry. As a result, there were fewer available jobs and relocation developments. The number of people living in several urban settlements of the district was affected by the conflict in eastern Ukraine. Although indirectly affected, Melitopol was not directly at the center of the violence. However, it had a real impact on social and financial security. The population of small towns like Melitopol has dwindled as people have migrated to larger urban areas with better employment opportunities and living conditions. Children leave the city in search of education and employment opportunities. A number of factors have contributed to the decline of Melitopol, such as changing economic conditions, relocation, the adverse effects of war, and the lack of a foundation and administration. Number 1. Tiraspol, Moldova. 157,000 people live in Tiraspol. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Transnistria declared its independence from Moldova. This led to a dispute between Moldova and Transnistria became a district that was ignored by everyone. The development of the city was negatively affected by this political weakness. Transnistria went through a difficult financial period. The financial turmoil that followed with the dissolution of the Soviet Union led to immigration and fewer jobs in the city. The lack of international recognition of Transnistria has limited trade and reduced suspicions. As a result, there is now less room for financial advancement and available opportunities. People who were urban dwellers moved to larger cities or more stable countries in search of better job opportunities and daily environments. This has led to a decline in population. Weaknesses led to the decline of Tiraspol, especially in the areas of international relations, politics, and economy. In today's video, we focused on the most underpopulated cities in Europe, and we looked at why these countries are empty, why they are underpopulated. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.